All right, here's Try It 4.1 from PreCalculus OpenStax. This example, this problem asks you which of the following equations represent exponential functions. So I'm given four functions here and asked which are exponential functions. The first one, f here, is not. And the reason why, well, this is a polynomial function. I guess the easiest way to see why it's not is the base here is not a constant and the exponent is not a variable. And then you have these other terms too, which further complicate stuff. This is a polynomial, not an exponential function. G, it'll turn out, is, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. H, it turns out, is not, and that's because this is a linear function here. Again, I don't have a variable x up in the exponent. It's not an exponential function. J, in fact, is as well, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. So some explanations. Why is G an exponential function? I thought it had to be a times b to the x power. What's a? Well, there is an a there. It's just equal to 1. So you don't even have to write it. This is equal to 1 times this number to the x power. And therefore, b is equal to 0.875, which is totally fine. Just remember, b has to be a positive number. This is a positive number that's not equal to 1. That's not equal to 1, so I'm good. What about j here? J is kind of crazy. This doesn't look like an exponential function because of this -2 right here. You might think that that's problematic. But in fact, it's not. What you have to know is that, or I don't know if you have to know this, but I think it's a little bit interesting, that this right here is equal to this number. What was it, 1095.6? Thanks for making that hard for me. It's the -2 power to the x power. So when you have exponents raised up to exponents, you can multiply those two exponents. And because -2 times x is -2x, I can go from here to here, and therefore from here to here. And the reason this helps is because this mess that I wrote in parentheses here is some number. It's 1 over 1095.6 squared. So if you want to figure out what that number is, you can. Feel free. I don't really feel like it, although I could pull out a calculator and calculate this number. But note that now I have this fitting my form. I got a is equal to 1, which I threw out here just to kind of emphasize it. You don't have to write that. And b is just equal to whatever number 1 divided by 1095.6 squared is equal to. There's a, there's b, that in fact make this an exponential function even though you got this -2 up here.